Hello, today we're going to make some sourdough starter. I'm going to make two different starters, a whole grain or whole wheat starter and a plain white starter. We'll go ahead and start them in a bowl. It will be easy for you to see the process of the fermentation from a bowl, but you would keep your starter in a food container of some sort. Usually somewhere around 24 to 32 ounce size container with a lid. But for now this will do, and I'll use plastic to cover the bowls. First, we'll make a white starter. The white starter is the very easiest type of starter to make. I'm using gold medal unbleached all-purpose white flour. And I'm going to do 56 grams or 2 ounces of the flour. And 56 grams of water. When you have the same weight of water and flour, your hydration, or the amount of water in your dough, is 100%. I had the water pre-weighed. It was exactly 56 grams. So 56 grams is about 2 ounces for those of you that use standard measurement. We'll mix our starter really good. Then we'll cover it and keep it at room temperature. Every day we'll visit and see what's going on. Takes about 2 weeks for a mature starter, but it will start fermenting in just a couple of days. I'm going to keep both starters at room temperature. Now we'll make a whole wheat starter. I'm using whole wheat that I bought from the store. It's Bob's Red Mill. I tried to find the freshest flour that I could, because when you get it in the store, you can easily get an old bag of flour. The best flour to use is your own freshly ground flour, because the enzymes necessary for fermenting are on the outside of the grain, and the fresher, the more enzymes and the more microorganisms that you have. I'm using Bob's Red Mill whole wheat flour, and I tried to find the freshest bag that I could. This was dated April 2016. It's a whole year out, so hopefully it's really fresh flour. I tried to find something that anybody could easily obtain in their own store. Instead of using the water, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use pineapple juice, which is recommended by microbiologist Deborah Wink. If you Google her name, you'll find something that she wrote called the pineapple juice solution, which helps us bakers when we're trying to make a starter. It helps for the acidic conditions necessary. Need that to be perfect. Okay. Now we have 56 grams of pineapple juice and 56 grams of whole wheat flour. This will be a lot thicker than the white starter because whole grains absorb a lot more moisture. So if you have a white starter at 100% hydration and a whole wheat starter at 100% hydration, you will see that they can look very different. Well, I already put a cover on this one, but that's pretty different. If you don't have an acidic condition, it'll take about 4 days of fermenting for the starter to produce the correct acidity, and at that point it will encourage the correct microorganisms. So in the first 4 days you can have really strange activity. Your starter can just bubble up like crazy, or it can smell really funny or bad. But that's because there's other organisms in the wheat or in the grain that are trying to establish themselves. And once it's sour enough, they all die off. and it's then the perfect environment for the sourdough starter organisms to take over and to start growing. So we're giving it a jump start by using the pineapple juice, and we'll only use the pineapple juice in the first 4 days. So after that, it's no longer necessary because it will, that is the normal time for the acidity to be at the point necessary for the microorganisms. I've decided to do one more starter. I'm going to do one that would probably be the easiest for most people to do. A plain white starter is fine. You can make a plain white starter, but if you add a little whole wheat or rye to the starter, it will jump start it. There's many more organisms in whole wheat and rye flour than there is in the white flour. So just adding even a little bit of one of the whole grain flours really helps the process. So I'll be doing 28 grams. I'm going to do half white and half wheat. 28 grams of the white flour. $28 grams of whole wheat. Stir that up. The 28 make 56. We'll go ahead and put in 56 grams of water. A tad bit more. So I think most people would easily be able to make this one. You don't have to try to find pineapple juice. You should be able to find whole wheat in any grocery store, whole wheat flour. And like I said, try to find fresh as you can get. If you have a neighborhood place where you can buy freshly ground flour, definitely go get that. So now we've got the 3 starters. And we'll watch their progress over the next several days and weeks to see how they do.